I feel ya. So I'm a Luigi player, and there were 5 Luigis in my pool.
So what you're saying is you were fighting for the right to represent your character in bracket.
And the good news is that I beat all of them.
Ooh,
so
okay.
Who's on top now? Are we getting into it?
Luigi.
I hear sounds. We are
Luigi,
getting into it. So this is Silly Kyle against Travis T.
I feel like Silly Kyle would have some experience because of like Tommy, right? From back down in Tucson. So he probably knows a thing or two about this matchup. Although
yes.
I would say Peach actually has the advantage in the long run because Ganon's just not as good and she wrecks him on recovery, but...
Travis T, he is a SoCal player. He's from Irvine. The one VOD that I could find of him on YouTube, he was playing against Lucky, and he actually took a game. So that's pretty impressive to me.
Yeah, it's just that this happens.
Yes. And that Silly Kyle is kind of a legend.
Yeah, and right there, you see Silly Kyle doing this little thing that Peaches need to do when they're floating, is he gives himself this super tiny bit of momentum, like just the tiniest bit going out, so that way if he taps that direction again, he will accelerate to like maximum airspeed, so that way if Travis T tries to drift back as much as possible, then Silly Kyle's already moving towards him. But such tiny amount of drift is easy to account for, and then bring yourself back in if he tries to go over his head.
Right.
So he gets this super tiny bit of movement, like an aerial walk, and then that's what sets up that such devastating, inescapable edge guard.
I think Kyle definitely has that kind of control over his floats.
Yeah.
There's a famous combo of him and PM where he just like carries a Kitten, who is a PM Ice Climbers player. He carries his Nana all the way across the stage. He does 4 aerials in about 2 seconds. Absolutely incredible.
And well, I mean, Ganon hits pretty hard.
Yes.
Peach. So we'll see if Travis can make a comeback. It's Peach is a character who you don't really want to trade with.
Yeah.
And you don't want to fall behind against her.
Yeah, she is very content to just kind of sit back and build upon her lead. Do this kind of thing. Turnips.
Yeah, right there. Travis T, like he's trading again. He's so far behind. Oof. Silly Kyle's a brave man going in between those legs. And yep, right there.
Should be pretty easy.
Controls the low angle, won't let Travis T actually set up a tech. And it's not looking good for the Ganondorf right here.
Yeah. He keeps going low. I think Ganondorf main's kind of different on whether or not to go low, because you can't sweet spot from below.
Yeah. You just kind of try and hope you can brute force a tech.
Yeah.
And ooh, that's 33% off of that one opening. Like, it's not a 0 to death, but at this stage, that's so much damage to be eating. Because, yeah, Peach isn't going to kill Ganon with her aerials directly, but she sets up those protracted edge guard situations.
Right. It's tough, too, because I think Peach is kind of deceptively heavy. So it's going to be a little bit harder for Ganondorf to...
I don't think you're supposed to tell women that, actually. You're deceptively heavy.
I'm sorry.
I couldn't tell.
I just tried to... It was
really hard to pick you up.
To forward air you into the blast zone, and you did not go very far. Oh. You've been eating too many turnips lately, I think. Wow.
Does that happen? Can you binge eat turnips?
I've done it.
Is that what down B? Is down B turnip purging?
Yes. No,
that's really gross.
Binge eating turnips is when you're playing against Peach and they're turnip camping you super hard. You just keep getting hit in the face.
And that's a rough one for Travis.
3 stock. Jeez.
So I feel like the choices here are basically Fountain and Yoshi's.
Really? I agree. Yeah.
Or going back and
okay, I disagree.
What do you know, Travis? what have you figured out that is going to suddenly turn this around? Show us now. This is it. It's do or die. It's die. Oh, God. Poor Travis.
Do you think it's a pride thing?
Well, he took 100, 106, and he's back off. I mean, he had returned to the stage a tiny bit, then he immediately lost the next interaction, but technically he didn't get 0 to death.
Yeah.
He had an interaction in there where he got to play.
He just didn't get any damage.
Yeah, and
that's a... Wow.
Yeah, you know, I'm starting to think, well, if you just get opened up and 0 to death, I'm not 100% sure how much the level makes a difference on your counter pick. He might be at this kind of deficit, even if he had picked somewhere else.
True. And on Yoshi's, he might be dying even earlier. So maybe he just wants to be there for more time.
Maybe. But unfortunately, the size of the stage isn't going to help you if you're just getting edge guarded for free.
True.
And with that turnip, Silly Kyle going to force him low.
Oh, he drops it.
Yeah, first mistake he made.
Yeah.
Once again, that little flub in neutral sends him right back out. I think Silly Kyle has a handle on what he needs to do to win this match.
Maybe.
And the Travis.
Well, there it is.
Got some soul searching to do, man.
Well, he's doubled his damage for the game.
Yeah. And, I mean, that was a smart back air that he did, descending like that, recognizing Silly Kyle was creeping under him. And go challenging him with the fair like he'd been doing so much before.
I think that was the third dot eyes that Silly Kyle's gotten in the set so far.
Yep, and again, Silly Kyle, see what he's doing with those turnips he is forcing Ganon into these really frustrating recovery situations.
Yes.
He's guiding his line of recovery. That means he can't tech. He can't suddenly surprise Kyle with an early up B, and Kyle doesn't care that he just died, I don't think.
Yeah.
I really don't know if this is going to matter. That was cool. You can't try and fight that hard when you're trying to get your comeback, because if you whoa.
Yeah, you're just going to open yourself up, you know?
Yeah. And Peach is the counter hitter.
For sure.
The big way that you make a comeback on Peach is not with big 0 to death. It's with 2-hit combo, then you call her escape option.
Oh.
Or
ow.
you die.
Yep. Solid double 3 stock from Mr. Silly Kyle there.
That was very brutal. He basically took 120% in game 2.
Yeah.
And I'm just,
That's incredible.
I'm still questioning why Travis wanted to go back to Battlefield.
Right?
I mean,
Yeah.
if it's his favorite level, then I understand. I love the comfort factor of a stage that I know, even if it's not objectively the best for a matchup. If I'm comfy there, then I know I'm going to play better there.
But you see, I don't think I know a Ganon whose favorite stage isn't Yoshi's.
Yeah, and then a Fountain has a bit of the double-edged sword. I mean, you've got the variable height platforms, and that means you can do all kinds of stuff to Peach.
Right.
Like at low percent, your little hits that send her at these low angles, she gets stuck on the platform, and now you can assail her with your mighty fists.
Yeah, you can stomp through the platform even.
And downside is she can chew you up.
True.
And she kind of gets those same benefits. But if you get her at the edge, then the Blossoms on the side are pretty close by, so you can get those kills. But I feel like if you get 3-stocked and you feel like you haven't figured something out, just change stage.
Yeah, you gotta
just try something
change
else.
something. Yes.
You know, what a definition of insanity. Same thing over and over. No, same results.
Of course.
Technically, the second game was worse.
So Travis T is a madman.
Yeah, well, he's Ganon, man.
That's step 1 on the road to insanity there.